So to start off, we're going to talk about the gameplay footage that recently dropped, and I don't know, I haven't talked to Josh completely about this yet, so I'm not sure what he'll say, but in my opinion, this is exactly what people wanted to see. They nailed it. This 6 minutes of gameplay footage is everything I wanted, everything we wanted to see. I think they knew what they had, and they dropped it, and it just got everyone stoked and on fire. And then, of course, the very next day, they're already dropping some marketing for the game. So it's like, okay, it's taken off. Holy shit, this is exciting. Josh, what were you like when you were watching that gameplay footage? Were you hyped?
This is the most excited I've ever been for this damn game. I cannot believe it. I'm like, right now, after I saw the gameplay footage, I said, fuck multiplayer. I am going all in on this campaign. I want to play this campaign so hard. And of course, guys, I'm exaggerating, but I could not have been more, like, just pleased with everything. I'm pleased as punched. It looked so amazing. It was so exciting, and I just thought, I have to sink all my time into this. It just looks like there's so much to do. You know, I love it. It's cool. You know it, guys. It's like you think about it for so long, and you think this is going to be open and everything, and we see the gameplay last year, and it looks fun, but it's a little bit muddy visually. But then you see all this, and it's all this marriage of everything coming together, and one part of you's like, how the hell were they actually going to release this game last year? But the other part of you's like, thank God it's coming out now, because this looks amazing. I couldn't be more excited, dude. I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't happen often. They show off this gameplay footage, and I have no complaints, and it's everything I want. Zero.
Like
I got zero.
The game looks beautiful. What, Josh?
Except to borrow a page from the Halo 2 making of doc. This game needs to come out now.
Yeah.
This game needs to come out now.
We can't wait.
How the hell are we going to beat this game?
Oh, man. Good time. No, I'm watching, I'm thinking, okay, it looks graphically amazing. It looks super fun. The villains, the setting, the openness, like when they're flying around in ships and stuff, it's like, holy shit, like looks freaking huge. The whole jumping out of what did he jump out of? I don't know, the Banshee or whatever, and then he shoots a Banshee, and then he grapples into another one in the midair. Oh my god,
dude!
Man.
And when he's like flying out of the one vehicle, and he like drops down, I think it's the Wasp, I can't remember now, and then he drops down the rocket launcher, and you just see the scale of that base that he's about to just take over. Brian, chat me up real quick, because I've wanted to ask you, I've been holding off. What is this like for you as someone who doesn't like open world games as much, depending on the game, but like when you're seeing this in a Halo universe, what's your feelings now that you really get to see some more of the scope of this?
Well, I think most people will agree with me here. In general, watching this, I'm super excited. It looks super fun. I'm not at all dreading that it's open world. Well, you know, they've said before it's semi-open world. It's not truly open world. People need to make sure they remember that, set their expectations. But like, I think the issue for most people when they have an issue with open world is this going to be just a Far Cry game but Halo, or just an Assassin's Creed game but Halo, where it's like there's not the best. Because, you know, Halo is known for these missions that are set up and they're structured, like the Silent Cartographer, which is really awesome. And if there's no missions like that in this game, and everything's just kind of, just be chief, kind of wandering around, you know, taking out checkpoints and bases and fighting guys for the heck of it, and you know, that's what's gonna tell if this game's campaign has the legacy of other Halo games. Because if it's just, you know, clear checkpoints, collect things, and kill baddies, that's gonna suck. Like, and I'm sure it'll still be a good game, but as far as like what we've come to expect of a Halo campaign, that's gonna be that. If it's truly like that and very boring, which I don't think it will be, guys, that could set it up for being the worst Halo campaign. And when I say worst Halo campaign, I mean obviously it looks like it's gonna be beautiful. It looks like it's gonna be so much fun. People are gonna have a blast. But we're talking about the legacy of the game 5-10 years removed from the launch. I mean, obviously, everyone's going to be hyped. I mean, I was having a blast playing Halo 5's campaign the night it came out, right? But what are we going to look back on this campaign in 5-10 years and say? Are we going to look back and say, you know, I had a lot of fun playing that, but, you know, it really was missing something that the other Halos had. It didn't really have any structured missions. It didn't really, you know, have any big setup moments that I was expecting from prior games. You know, it kind of just felt, it didn't feel normal. It didn't feel right. If that's the case, then I think we'll look back and we'll go, you know, I don't think open world was the right move. But then again, I mean, there's so many different ways to spin this, guys. They could do a good job of incorporating the open world with structured missions. And I think that's what they're going to do. I honestly do. I think it's going to be good. But ultimately, even if we look back and say this is not the kind of structure we wanted for the campaign, I compare it to something like Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I'm sure a lot of you have played. Zelda games, you grew up with these Zelda games, and the structure was you start out small, you go through little temples, the world opens up a bit, you go through more temples, you get more gear, there's a linear story, and as you get more gadgets and go through more temples, you get to the end, you fight a boss, the game's over. That's pretty much how every Zelda went up to Breath of the Wild. And then you get to Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is basically just like, here's a giant open world, do whatever you want in any order you want, and there's no structure. And you can even see today, there's some people who are like, Breath of the Wild is my least favorite Zelda because there's no structure, the story's kind of weaker, and it's just this open world with lots of stuff to do and not any structure. But then you also get people who are like, Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda I've ever played. And I think we're going to see the same thing again with Halo Infinite here. I think there's going to be people who either played Halo campaigns and they never thought they were amazing, but now they play an open world one and they're like, this is my favorite Halo. This is what I wanted to Halo. This open world stuff beats all of that linear stuff from before. And there's going to be people who are like, I grew up on Halo and I like the linear stuff, and this is kind of my least favorite because it's open. And neither person's going to be wrong. I think this openness is going to bring a lot of new people to Halo. Like, just the way the multiplayer being free to play is going to bring new people. There's going to be people who go, wait a minute, I'm a fan of Halo campaigns now because of this openness. So I think TLDR, bottom line, there's going to be people that love this and it's their favorite no matter what. Because even when I'm dogging something like Far Cry, there's people who just love Far Cry games and they love doing the repetitive tasks over and over again.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so for some people, this is going to be their favorite no matter what. And for other people, it might be the worst just because of the structure, and that's not an objective thing. But for me, I'm just looking forward to it, and, I've said this before on the podcast, but I'm open-minded. Like, if it's a fun time, I'm happy with it, Like, even Halo 5, I've come to be happy with because it's got so many moments I love and enjoy. I'm past the point in my life where my expectations have to be super high and everything has to go the way I want it to be. I'm just willing to see what the developers wanted to give us and enjoy it for what it is. So, I mean, honestly, honest to God, the worst thing I can say is if they straight up carbon copied Far Cry and you just went to outposts and gathered stuff, the fact that it's Halo's core gameplay loop in that setting is already going to give it an up. So that's where I stand.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, has seeing this video affected how you plan to play the game, which is what I assume is to be a beeline through the story the first time?
I don't think so, because even though, like, I do plan to do a beeline through the story, that doesn't directly mean I'm just going to skip everything. I know that's probably what Josh thinks, because I've done that before.
No, I realize that's real absolute when I say that, but I figured you would probably try out a couple things. It's
kind of like this, guys. Like, I mean, I haven't played the game, so I have no idea how it works, but if the game starts out and there's this huge open area with central story missions, I'm going to generally go for the central story missions, but I'll take my time getting through them, and I'll go off the beaten path when it's fun and exciting and I want to. The thing I won't do is if I'm getting to the end of this area and the story is ready to go to a new area, and it's like, well, this area still has 14 flags and 15 blah 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 to pick up. That's when I'll go, no, I'm just beelining the story. I'm not gonna go back and make myself do something I don't want to collect them. Maybe in a future, I'm sure there's going to be a future playthrough while I do everything.
Well, I was going to ask, I mean, that's kind of the fun of this one too now, is that it's going to completely change how we play the campaign, how we play it on co-op and on the different difficulty levels, and that's going to be interesting for replay value. So for you, Brian, do you think after the first time that you're going to just, like every subsequent playthrough, that you're going to maybe like just try to do everything all in one? Do you think you're going to be like, maybe someday you'll hop on your third playthrough and you're like, I just want to play through the main story again? Or do you think you're always going to want to go around and just explore?
There'll be one playthrough where I 100% it, and that'll be the only one. I'll never 100% it again. That's how I play games. Like, okay. Like the first 2-3 times I play through the campaign, it'll probably be beelining to take in that story and find the world. Then there'll be like a third or fourth playthrough where I'm like, okay, I'm going to 100% this, get everything. And then every playthrough through then, I won't do it again. Because for me, and I know people are different, but for me, it's like, if I've already found all the collectibles and did all the secrets, I don't really get any joy out of doing them again. So
that makes sense. I'm more so mean in terms of like going to the enemy outposts and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah,
side quests and whatnot. You know, if you see Waterpaint Gorge over there, you're like, I can't turn that one down.
Yeah, I mean, Halo. That's the thing. That's really the ace in the hole here, is that it's Halo's gameplay loop. Everything is going to be enhanced by that. Like, because when I play campaign, you know, like a lot of people listening, I've played these campaigns 20, 30, 40, 50 times. and nothing.
He's
really,
not lying.
No, I mean honestly, the original trilogy and probably Halo 4 and Reach, probably 50 plus. Honestly, just a ton of time. But you know, we play these games and they're just fun to play because of Halo's core gameplay loop. So I think it doesn't really matter what they have us do in the game. If we're continuing to use that gameplay loop, it's going to be fun. The only thing that wouldn't be fun for me is if they have, like, I don't know, if they have secrets that are hidden by, like, having to, like, shoot 5 hidden panels to unlock a rope, then the rope you use to connect to something. I don't want anything like that.
I have
like,
to
that's not
imagine they're
Halo.
probably going to do a little bit of that with something like skulls, you know, potentially. But
Maybe.
That's really the only thing I could see myself getting on board for that.
Like, I'm okay with, like, a, you know, well, I know it's not really crouch jumping anymore because of clamber, but, like, kind of crouch jumping to specific areas to find a hidden thing, that's cool, or, like, fighting some enemies to get something, but, or even, like, if there's, like, a switch I turn on and they send, like, 10 waves of brutes and I gotta kill all 10 waves to unlock this thing.
That sounds fun in that loop.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. It's just, like, I don't really want, like, I don't know, I don't really want, like, puzzle-solving platforming too much. I mean, I guess, like, crouch jumping kind of is platform, but I guess like I said, puzzle solving.
I don't want to. Don't like no diss on Destiny. Destiny's great. Don't give me Destiny in my Halo.
Nah,
you know, I don't want that because that's a lot of platforming stuff at times, depending on what you do. So
no, I mean this just looks amazing. Josh, you want to go right into watching this?
Hell yeah, I was gonna say because man, we were definitely foaming at the mouth to talk more about it. So yeah, but absolutely, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Rated teen, guys. I know it's ruined. It's not rated M.
Cortana. She's back.
When I saw this dude, I got immediately nostalgic, and I think that's what they were aiming for.
Love the design. Love the design. So classic.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
I love
500,000 views already.
Yeah, I love how Jen Taylor's like, remember Cortana in Chief? Well, that shit's done.
Yeah. I actually watched someone, and they were like, that's just a distant memory, and then the person on the video was like, yeah, it is. The visual upgrades here from the 2019 trailer is just crazy.
Man, I remember seeing
I didn't really expect those to look so much better.
No. Oh, man, the music's kicking in. We're seeing the scope of Zeta Halo. Oscar
One thing
Mayer.
I'll say is, I feel like, now, this is just nitpicking, this isn't a real issue, but I feel like 343 could probably use a little restraint on giving Chief these one-liners that seem just a little cheesy to me.
I get that.
Like,
We're gonna get into
what's
that.
the thing he says later with the tank? He's like, "Oh, I like it."
I like it. Yeah,
Chief would
I like it, but I
that.
don't. Oh man, you see the birds there? Oh, now we're going to see that little base inside.
Interior, the 400 interiors, they nailed it. 2020.
Oh, it looks so beautiful. Look at the colors. Oh god, grapple shot on
I'm
a
definitely
brute.
gonna get that thing that lets me electrically shock brutes with my grapple shot.
Hell yeah, man. Gotta have that upgrade. Oh, that
See
looks
the
so
open world
open
here
and
flying
spacious.
around.
Someone mentioned
kind of-
that
this-
area
this-
right there is the same area from the E3 demo.
Yeah, that banished area reminds me of a Halo Wars 2 banished area. I've seen some people say it, but like they've done a better job of making these banished really feel like the ones from Halo Wars 2. You gotta play that soon, Josh.
I'm about to.
Where have you been?
Definitely.
The weapon is the cutest thing ever.
Master Chief is searching for the answer to a
There's
I love
Cortana again.
Cortana's
See,
look.
this kind of blew my mind that they showed her. Like I wasn't expecting that. We'll have more.
I wasn't either, dude. They're showing. They've actually showed a lot in this. I wouldn't. It's not worth complaining. If people still complain after this, like, come on.
I definitely think it's going to be interesting seeing the dynamic between.
Josh, we said this in I think it was 2019 or early 2020, before we saw any gameplay footage of Infinite. You and me said we'll probably have the Pelican. We'll have the pilot drop stuff in with this Pelican. We called.
We
that.
did, didn't we?
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Right. We were clairvoyant, and I was flying around in a banshee on Zeta Halo. Oh, that didn't rhyme.
See, that
I
looks
like it.
huge. Like, I don't know how much of that you can fly around, but that looks
That's
like
my favorite part right there. Look how
right here,
spacious
Josh
that is.
loves
Look at all
that
the
part.
shots blowing up. I'm
Yeah.
busting. I'm busting.
jackal snipers are going to be ridiculous.
Yep, that's going to be fun on Legendary.
Do you think now, Josh? If you had to guess, how much of do you think the UNSC Infinity is destroyed? Do you think Blue Team and Osiris? Do you think they're all dead?
Nah, I don't think any of them are dead.
I don't think so either.
I'd be real surprised because I don't know. I think they kind of learned after that escalation comic to maybe not kill people off screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, look at this dude
I love
charging
these,
right at
like-
him.
Oh man, like boss, the hunters look perfect to me. Perfect.
Dude,
like Halo
I
1.
love it. Here's where he's about to get all the Marines. I love this part.
Yeah.
he's gonna go. This is something actually interesting though. I really threw me off. It was kind of jarring at first. So they're talking about Chief being there, and he's like, you know, I've got you. I'm not used to Chief ever talking back to Marines like that.
Right,
I've
and
never
then he
heard
just
that
drives
before.
off a cliff, which has got memes all over the place.
Yeah, hilarious. No seatbelts.
Boss battles look like... Here's the thing. I love Halo 2, and I love Halo 2's boss battles. I have no complaints about them, but it probably wouldn't take a lot to be better than those, and it seems like these are going to be better.
Well, I love that even seeing him fight this guy here, it looks like his health isn't even that large. But it gives you enough to realize that this is someone of importance.
Yep.
Oh, I love looking at the HUD.
Way improved.
Yeah, so good.
This looks
the
beautiful.
Spaciousness, the graphics. I just want to walk all over there. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful.
See, when there's indicators on screen that show like there's one of these to pick up here and two of these to find, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll wait and see.
Totally get that. Totally get that.
My least favorite thing about this, we're going to talk about this after this is over. My least favorite thing about this entire gameplay footage is that damn Harbinger. I do not like the Harbinger or the Skimmers.
Why not?
Dude, they just remind me of, like, they give me like these Promethean flashbacks.
Oh, the PTSD.
They look kind of robotic, and I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why we can't just stick with Covenant enemies. I don't know why they want to keep introducing enemies. I'm being really butthurty right now. Like, I definitely am. I'm open-minded, and I'm gonna wait and make my judgment when I play the game. But I'm like, why couldn't we just stick to the Banished, man? I don't know. What do you think about them?
I don't know. I mean, if they seldom use that thing, it's not really going to be that bad to me. I don't know. So much of this just looks so Banished, heavy, and I think that's got my focus more. So I mean,
same.
If it's
Oh, this looks so cool. The edge of the ring into space looks amazing.
Really does. Really does. If it's a case of less is more, though, I'm going to be fine with it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's the only complaint I have. I just wasn't a huge fan of that.
And some returning favorites. Did you catch her say that?
Oh, because of Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the Skimmers, they look like something from like another game to me. I don't know, Destiny or Batman.
I could see that. I would rather take hot take. I'd rather take the buggers over them.
Yep, I would too.
You like anything that's not.
I don't like this. I mean, I do not like the look of the Harbinger.
Yeah.
It looks like something from Doom Eternal meets Destiny.
I could see that.
With a little Promethean.
I mean, I'm indifferent to it right now.
Yeah. But that's just me nitpicking, guys. Like, this is a 10/10 trailer, and I'm sure it'll be fine, and I'm open-minded. I might love the
Alexa, play Higher Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh man, dude.
Oh,
and the way that Chief, several people pointed out, the way that Chief like dives into the air, it's just like the trailer for Breath of the Wild.
You're doing a lot of diving. Alexa, play Holy Diver.
There we go, guys. That was it.
December 8th, 2021.
Man,
yeah, loving the music.
They nailed it, man.
Just soaking it in right now, guys.
Oh, and then you got
Esherim right there at the end, grunting on the shitter. Man,
I was surprised how many people thought that was in game. I was like, the second I saw it, I'm like, that's pre-rendered, obviously.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I saw some people think that, but I mean, it looks cool as a cutscene. It looks very, very cool. A lot to take away from that,
level
though.
For Halo Infinite right now.
Oh man, is that a 10 out of 10? It's out of 10.
Ooh, you're at a 10?
This game, yes, because it finally looks like it just that's all they needed, And I remember us saying back a couple episodes, we were like, oh, if they can just show us a gameplay, some kind of gameplay overview, but not, be light on story. Well, they weren't quite light on story here. They once again sold even more.
They went a little too heavy.
A little too heavy for me, but I like what I saw, though. And
this is enough. No more for me.
Yeah. No more. Stop.
Marketing's good. Marketing's fine, but no more campaign stuff, please.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude, it's 10 out of 10 because it looks like it's fun to play. The campaign looks fun to me. I think even the parts that could be potentially boring, like whatever side quest it might have, like that one scene where he's taking the brute chopper and he's going through this like underpass.
Yeah.
At this base. That looks like it could be like a side quest thing. But at the same time, it's like, because of, like you said, the combat loop, I think I'll really enjoy doing that. I think I'll really love being able to just tear it up and shoot. I mean, that's kind of the fun about some of the campaigns, is where I can just turn my brain off and just, pew pew, aliens bad, So, like, it's kind of fun in that.
And that's the thing, is like, with it being open world and having this gameplay loop on future replays, I feel like, I already said, like, oh, maybe if there's no mission structure, that'll be a negative. But like, I would think this would be a really replayable campaign, because what I love doing is just going into scenarios and fighting Banished, fighting Covenant. And we're gonna be able to do that in so many different areas in this game. I'm at an 8 out of 10, which is the highest I've been in quite a while. I think the reason I was at a 7, so it's definitely brought me up. But I think the reason I'm only at an 8 out of 10 is because a couple things. One, you know, I knew Cortana was going to be in this game, and I'm excited to see her in like her purple form or whatever. But you know, the fact that Cortana is featured there, combined with the Harbinger skimmer stuff, just makes me wonder if that part of 343 is still hanging on, the part that doesn't want to just do the same thing Bungie did and wants to do their own thing. Like, I wonder if that part's there, and if that part is going to influence the story in a way.
I see what you're saying. You're
I
saying
don't like.
You're wondering how much of this stuff we've seen is just surface level stuff, and how much of maybe the 343 stuff is actually the meat and potatoes of this.
Yeah, because I mean, like, and I don't necessarily think this is going to happen, but what if like half the story, half the gameplay revolved around Cortana, revolved around skimmers and the Harbinger? Like, what if that's a very, very big aspect of it, and we look back like we did with like Halo 5 or 4 and be like, oh, only half that game I was really fighting Covenant. I don't really like the Prometheans that much. You know, and then there's the Harbinger, which the Harbinger is coming off intentionally through these trailers. I think is coming off like another big bad, like a Diadact. You know what I mean? And
I could see that. Yeah.
Well, you guys didn't really, you know, you did such, in my opinion, you did such a great job setting up the Diadact, but you didn't really give him his proper due. He got killed off in a comic. You know, that kind of got pushed aside. Then we had this whole like Cortana rising in Halo 5, and I'm like, so is it going to be, you know, Diadact, throw him to the side. Cortana, throw her to the side. Harbinger, you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, I thought it was going to be more straightforward, and now it's starting to look like it could be a little convoluted. It's got me a little worried, but I'm not here to instill fear, guys. I'm really excited still, and I think they're doing great work, and I think 343 is amazing, talented individuals. These are my honest thoughts.
Well, that's just a blessing in disguise then, because it just goes to show that, I mean, it looks like it's got a lot to it, and that's got you speculating, and that's a good thing that they can create that kind of curiosity, I think.